This is the tail section build. Had to get a little creative with my camera to get this to fit in. So anyway, we'll get started. I'm gonna assemble the tail hub, tail grips, tail blades first, and go from there pretty much. So I'll start the tape recording anytime I come up with something that is a little odd or something I didn't expect, so you guys know what to expect when you get your kits. Okay, a step involved in this tail is to balance this entire tail assembly for the most part with the grips and the blades installed, and as you can see, mine's a little bit off balance, so I'm going to add some tape to the lighter end. The proper way to do that is to find the center of gravity. I'm sure everyone knows how to blade balance, but if you don't, find the center of gravity on this blade and add the tape to that area. And make sure they both match center of gravity wise. But anyway, I'm going to do that, and just didn't want to forget this step, so we'll come back with anything else I find. Okay, these, which are flange bearings, formerly always my experience have always been ball links. I've never seen this done. A thing that I came and ran into, the flange bearings barely fit into these ball links. So if you tighten these bolts down without getting that fit correctly and fiddling with the alignment, you run a good risk of messing those bearings up. So what I did was just screwed it in, and they automatically want to crease out towards the outside. So make sure you fiddle with this link and get them to seat properly before you tighten down this hex key right here. Otherwise, you're probably going to mess up those brand new flange bearings. Also, I noticed that there wasn't too much lube on them, so I lubed them up with a little bit of bearing grease. Not the thick stuff. It really probably doesn't, you don't need any, it's not like it's a high-speed bearing, but it wasn't lubed very adequately out of my kit, so I added a little extra lube. But other than that, it's pretty smooth, and I really like the idea, so we'll see how it works, and I can't see it failing as much as the normal ball links do and wearing out, so hopefully it's not just a cool design, and it's actually functional as well. So, but yeah, like I said, it's real smooth. So, but make sure you be careful when you install those flange bearings. Okay, I just ran into a snag, and hopefully it gets fixed before the kits start coming out. But just in case it doesn't, this is what I had to do. If you look and sight down, you notice the tail pitch slider right there. It's nice and level with the gearbox. Well, the way I got the kit, unfortunately this standoff, I guess you'd call it, was a little bit too high, so I had to use some pliers and bend it down a little bit to get that geometry straight. And you can see that little bend I had to put in it. It's nothing too bad. It only took me a second. Luckily this metal's soft enough to bend easily. Unfortunately, I scuffed my pretty little black finish up. But yeah, hopefully they address that. I'm gonna let Scott know. But other than that, everything's ready to go. As far as the tail slider, that's ridiculously smooth. So I'm really happy with the tail movement so far. I'm going to install the tail fin and put in the links, tail rod guides and whatnot, so that should be my last segment for the tail build. Okay, a little step that I forgot to mention. I left this out, so this little bolt right here on the tail pitch slider for the ball link, don't forget to put that bolt in, because if you don't, the screw will come out, the threads come out of the bottom, and it hits the bottom of the tail gearbox right there, and right as you can see right there. So anyway, that bolt puts those threads just high enough to clear that gearbox, otherwise you're not going to get your full pitch range. So that, and I just put some silicone spray, a little tiny bit of spray right here on the push rod for this washer. Otherwise it's a little sticky, so just a small spray. It's smooth, it's very smooth now. So that's pretty much it for the tail. Everything else should pretty self-explanatory. The tail fin came out great. I really like this idea. It's really stiff. Should hold up pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't crack easier because it's so stiff. It doesn't have much way if you come down with a hard landing. But other than that, don't forget your placement of the clamps here. The first clamp from case to front of the heli is going to be your push rod guide clamp, and the second one is going to be this is for the struts, and then the following two servo mounts clamps, and that's it for the tail box. And it also comes with the flange bearings for your servo, your tail servo ball link area. So anyway, I'll cover that in a different thread when I do servos and electronics installation and things like that. So that's it for the tail. Came out great, really smooth mechanism back here. So let's come back with the head.